Well, good morning, my friends. It's such a great way to start our day, getting together, diving deeply. So the day is Friday, October 23rd, 2020. And this is Loving What Separates Us, the fifth day, an immersion course with I Am Heart, and part of my own personal mission of healing the heart of America. So let's everyone just check in to see where we are this morning. I was thinking, I always start classes with I Am Heart with a well-known saying. It's really an invocation by Hazrat Inayat Khan, this great Sufi master that brought Sufism to the West in the universal form rather than the Islamic form. And it goes, toward the one, the perfection of love, harmony, beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the one heart, the spirit of guidance. And I love it because it extols the power and the beauty and the glory of the divine qualities of the heart. In this case, love, harmony, and beauty, and guidance. So may all these qualities be lively within our hearts as we explore our own hearts, the heart of our own countries, and the heart of the world, to heal and transform. So with that start, let's just, I should stir the pot a little bit, tell you what we're going to be doing. Yeah, so I thought we worked on forest fires sort of yesterday. I mean, we definitely did, but it came out differently than I expected. But I just thought we should continue that theme and work on the topic of climate change, which is very divisive in our country and the world. On the one hand, we have people saying, duh, the climate's changing. We're having forest fires that don't stop. We're having hurricanes galore. The world's getting warmer. The oceans are rising. We're polluting the world. The world's a mess. It's our home. If our home was a mess, we'd all clean it up. What's wrong here? Why can't we act? And the other side is saying, wait a second here. There's a lot of very marginal science going on here. There's a lot of modeling, and none of the models have been proven correct. The world has been getting warmer, but it's been getting warmer since the 1650s at the peak of the last ice age, the mini ice age. And right now, the Earth is about as warm as it was in 1,000 years ago. And it's not even as warm as it was during what's called the warm Roman period. And a lot of the science has been just fabricated, like the hockey stick model. We know the past was warmer than it is now. Not just this rise right now with a flat period. And anyone can look at the history of the climate of the world and know that it changes with or without carbon emissions. And the science on carbon in the air is murky in terms of creating global warming. So we have both sides going on. And blaming the other side, judging the other side, basically for being stupid or reckless or not caring. So could you just check to see inside of yourself where the judgments are? Could you get in touch with where the fears are? The water level rises and our coastal cities become inundated. Billions of dollars of damage and massive relocations. A few years back, I don't know what it is now, there were just horrific droughts in India. And we've had our own droughts here in the United States, all around the world. It just seems like everything is changing so much. How bad can it get? The fears on the other side is this is a manufactured crisis to create government control. And we don't want one world government telling us how to live here in our own country. Fear on that side. Not just the one world government, but massive government controls on our behavior and our lifestyles for something that has marginal science to it. So could you just get in touch with your fears wherever you sit in this divide? And we'll see if there's not a more powerful way to respond. And of course, that would be with love and more love. Love for our fears, love for our beliefs, love for the other side, and love for the earth. So, let's move out of our mind and our ego, which is all what we've been engaging there. We've been making that very lively. Let's put our hands over our heart. Sit up straight. The head move freely a bit. Pull the shoulders back and relax. And whatever you do, part of what we do in all this warm up is tell our body that it's time to go deeply within our hearts. We just set the stage for it by doing this sort of elaborate warm up with the heart, with the breath, with the full breath. Now, just with our hands over our hearts, redirecting the energy of the heart back to itself. And maybe we begin to feel a heartbeat underneath our hands. Maybe not, don't worry. Sensitivity just comes with time and practice. We don't worry about any of our progress here. But what we can do, what we can't do, what we can follow, what we can't follow. We just take it all as this gift of time that we're giving ourselves to explore our hearts, to explore our energetic body. It's actually different than an exploration of consciousness. They both happen. Believe me, we get into both. But here, as a path of the heart, and that's not common nowadays, as a path of the heart, we primarily explore our energy. And our consciousness rides on our energy. The opposite is true. Energy rides on consciousness. But for us, we focus on connecting to our energy, the flow of the energy within us, and our consciousness rides along with it. Consciousness and energy are really two sides of the same coin. We go deep, deep, deep within our energetic field. Our consciousness goes deeply along with it. We are beings of infinite energy and infinite silence, both. Infinite dynamism, infinite energy, infinite silence, both. And just notice what happens after a few minutes of sitting with our hands on our heart. Let your hands down when that's comfortable. Keep them there as long as you like. Now let's say good morning to our breath, to our lungs, to our respiratory system. And we do that simply by noticing, observing our breathing this morning. How is it compared to yesterday, the day before? Is it less free, more free? More shallow, deeper breath? Not minding whatever it is. It's a wonderful practice to not mind and just allow. Could we allow our breath to be just what it is right now? No wanting to fix, wanting to change, wanting to improve. Not just yet, we'll get there. But right now, just allowing it to be what it is. Quite often our breath is a metaphor for our lives. So as we allow our breath to be what it is, could we allow our life to be just the way it is? And just for a little bit, let go of wanting our life to change, wanting our life to be better, wanting to be perfect. Could we just allow our breath to be just what it is and allow our lives to be just what they are? This place of acceptance, of loving what is, of accepting what is, it's a very powerful energy. We begin to merge with the one who is. The one who always is, the one who always has been, the one who always will be. All by simply allowing our breath to be just what it is, our life to be just what it is. And now let's shift the practice and move into the full breath. Begin with a full exhale, pulling our abdominal muscles all the way back towards our spine. And as we release that, we just notice how full the inhale is. Full inhale, full exhale. And what do you experience with this full breath? Flushing our body with life force, chi, prana. Less energy or more energy? By the way, it's perfectly okay to experience nothing. We just keep doing it anyway and allow that inner experience to show up Less alert, more alert. Whatever we experience is perfect. We're just exploring. Is our mind quieter or is it more active? Now let's move into our formal heart rhythm meditation. This astounding practice, simple yet so powerful, brought out by Parad and Susanna from the culture of the heart created by the desert fathers and the desert mothers. I focused on heart and breath and had such daily healing miracles. If communities, one group had like 7 communities of 7,000 people each. About 30% were women. Just amazing what happened there. All by connecting breath and heart. So we begin this process by inhaling to the count of 8 heartbeats, exhaling to the count of 8 heartbeats. Could be 6, 10, whatever's right for you. What you will probably find is over time, this breath will naturally lengthen. There's no rush on this. But over time, you might just play with moving up to 8 if you're at 6, moving up to 10 if you're at 8. This breath and the square breath are phenomenal for developing lung capacity. And in this day and age of the pandemic, your lung capacity is one of your greatest defenses. I can't say this with scientific certainty, but I can say it from inner clarity that if you have the lung capacity of a 20-year-old, which you can develop by doing these breathing practices, you will have the immunity of a 20-year-old when it comes to the virus. And those 20-year-olds are not dying, barely at all, from this virus. It's the elderly with diminished lung capacity, or the challenged ones. It's still hard to find your heartbeat. There is no shame in feeling your pulse or simply counting. Would you look at a 3-year-old sapling and say, shame on you for not being 80 feet tall? We would never do that. So if you don't feel your heartbeat easily, no worries. It comes. Could you allow yourself to be perfect just the way you are? There's no catching up here. There's only exploring who we are and allowing the beauty of who we are to shine forth, allowing the love, the harmony, and the beauty of who we are to shine forth in our own unique way. Sure to pull in the name of your heartbeat. That will become a habit very quickly. If you feel your heartbeat, the name will be there. And you feel the sweetness of the full inhale, the sweetness of the full exhale. The sweetness of moving into this rhythm. Connects us to the rhythm of our world, the rhythm of creation, the rhythm of the pulsing of the cerebral spinal fluid. And what you're experiencing now. Compare it to your experience when you first started this meditation. Would it be okay with us if we become so attuned to this balanced state that it just becomes a habit of our nervous system? And we begin to live day and night in this deep connection to the rhythm of nature. Whoever we greet, whoever we meet, whatever we do, this great balanced expression of life. And we just say yes to that intention and let it go. Just say that'd be nice and let it go. All we're doing is we're giving an instruction to our mind, our ego, our nervous system, our bodies, our hearts. It says, here's where we're going. Here's where we're going. And we don't mind how long it takes. We just open up to the possibility. Say, yes, that's for me. That's for this heart. Because from here, there's a natural unfolding of the desires of our heart. Just check to see from right here, how anxious are you to keep up with the Joneses? From right here, what impact does all the advertising of Madison Avenue have on us. It's almost like this rhythm creates a shield that just flows around us. How willing are we to live right now in attunement with nature? What's interesting is we don't even notice those things until we bring them up. We say, yeah, that's right. In this space, I'm not that person that's wanting this or this or this that I thought I wanted all my life. In this space, who I am is rhythm. Who I am is presence. Who I am is love. And this is just basic heart rhythm meditation. Of course, we went a little long doing it. That's okay. That's okay. Whatever works here. We've been exploring this past 4 days, the dimensions of the heart. Forward, backward. In fact, let's just breathe that swinging breath just for a moment. Inhale from the front into our heart. Exhale out to the back. Inhale from the back. Fill up our heart. Exhale to the front. All we're doing is we're enlivening this dimension. Just 1 or 2 breaths. Still keeping that same basic heart rhythm meditation going. And then let's shift to the width and breadth of the heart. Inhale from the left. Fill up the heart to the count of 8 heartbeats. Exhale to the left. Receive or receptive on the left-hand side. Exhale. We give, create, act on the right-hand side. You can go from horizon to horizon or from 8 inches out to 8 inches out. Either way, doesn't matter. Or as a circle. Inhaling to the left, exhaling to the right, and having the breath come around in a circle. And all this does is expands our width, the breadth of our heart, receiving the giving. And now let's go. Exhale deep down, down, down to the depth of our heart. Inhale, come up through our body, fill the heart up. Exhale up to the heavens above us, through the head, through the crown. Back down, inhaling, breathing that heavenly energy into our heart. Exhaling to the depth of our heart. Notice in all of these, we become the center point of our energetic being. That's the heart. I think I mentioned the first day, the Chinese talk about the marriage of heaven and earth. We do this in every dimension, every pairing. The energy of the earth, the energy of creation, merging with the energy of the heavenly celestial realms. We are that union point, that point of oneness. Could we love ourselves for being this connecting point between these heavenly and these earthly energies? We speak of loving what separates us. It's always the mind and the ego and the wounds that separates us. When we love ourselves for being this fulcrum point, center point, we dissolve what separates these energetic patterns. And then we went into our inner dimension of the heart. Just take a moment just to play. Whether we get there or not doesn't matter. But just breathe into our hearts and just notice if there's not some flavor of this vast inner dimension. Wherever you experience it, however you experience it, I find it somewhere between my heart and my solar plexus. Just could we enjoy even the reminder that it's there, both within us and the expansiveness of totality without us. And from this, let's begin the process of exploring the 5 elements. I know I said Monday, but if we're going to work on climate change, we might as well be connected to the earth. So with the earth breath, we breathe in and out through our nose. We keep our mouth closed. We inhale. We exhale down through our torso, through our legs, through our feet, and allow the energy of the going with the exhale down deep within the earth. And then nose breathing always, bring that energy back up, fill it up, and just bring it up to our heart. And again, exhale down, 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 down through the feet, down into the earth. Maybe we go all the way down to the center of the earth, maybe not, it doesn't matter. Pull that energy back up. And you may begin to notice that as we pull the energy up, energy spreads out. The direction of the earth energy is a spreading energy. It's almost as though we bring the earth energy up into our heart, and we start creating a mountain of energy around us. Pull it up. So earth energy, bringing the earth up into our heart, and then we exhale, spread it out and down. Inhale As we do this earth breath, you may connect to certain qualities of the heart, which the earth breath builds perseverance. Just keep breathing. It brings patience, builds patience. There's a saying in India, as patient as the earth. Now we do all these things to the earth, and the earth just bears them patiently. Brings steadiness, persistence. If you find you have a hard time following through on your goals or actions, this is the breath. It brings up all these divine qualities within us. It brings a calmness with it. And it has this sort of color of yellow earth, yellow brown. And maybe we see the color, maybe we don't. Some of us are more kinesthetic, some of us are more visual. Now, as you bring this energy up, and you go down, down, deep into the earth, just ask yourself, by way of setting intentions, would it be okay if patience became rich and profound in my life? Would it be okay if steadiness, I became steady, solid, strong? You know, as we even say these names, they have their own vibration to them. These are, in one sense, these 5 elements are the original agents of creation. And all of creation is an expression of the 5 elements. And they express themselves through these qualities. Would it be okay if I lived in a world where I was persistent in a very healthy way? We're not speaking of obsession. How would it feel if I just kept on going forward to fulfill my heart's desires? Feels pretty good to me. Would it be okay with each one of us if we connected to the deep wisdom of the earth and allowed that to organize our life? Just check to see if you start to feel this energy of the earth. Feel this connection to the earth. It's a very unique experience, and it will grow for you the more we experience it. And from this place, rich with earth energy, could we explore the planet Earth and the climate climate, of course, includes not just the earth, but the wind, the air element, the rain, the storms, the fire element, or excuse me, the water element, the lightning, the fire, and just all fire, and the entire space of creation of the earth. So as we look at our earth and the climate, what's the first thought, the first experience we have? Is it an experience of fragility? Or is it an experience of massiveness? And what comes up for me is I get this massive ancient quality to our climate. And this vast sense of the climate changing over the eons. And yet there's a voice in me that says, but what are we doing to our climate now? What are we doing to our earth now? I invite you to ask what comes up for you. Whatever it is, could you welcome it up and just love it? It's interesting for me. I do not get sitting in the earth as I'm sitting. I do not get any fear whatsoever. I get a sense that the earth and the climate in a flash can purify, shift, and heal. From the perspective of the earth, just a few years heals. 10, 20, whatever it is. Not a big deal. Now that's just me. You get your own wisdom. And all the same, from the human perspective, the condition of the climate is a big deal. Would it be okay with each one of us if we explore this shifting of perception from the vast, almost eternal earth, the vast, almost eternal climate on this earth, which has been changing for hundreds of millions and billions of years? What happens when we look at climate change right now? And let's move on this continuum of universal to individual and look at the climate from the perspective of ourselves as individuals. It's a totally different experience. And I notice, check for yourself, when you look at the climate as an individual, check to see if you feel any fear. I notice it within myself, certainly. Any fear that we've damaged the climate so much that the road back to health of our climate will be damaging, destructive, painful, dislocating to millions upon millions of people as floods and droughts, fires and hurricanes restore balance to the earth. And the invitation is, if you're feeling any of this, could you be with that fear? Does the fear change the climate? And could you step into your position of a vast heart and ask, what would I like to do with this energy? Would I like to use this fear as motivation for action to save the climate of the planet? Or would I like to simply love this fear, hear the voice, let go of resisting it so it doesn't persist, let go of suppressing it, welcome up the fear, and allow it to become conscious and shift into whatever divine quality you choose. Or maybe it just realigns with the force of nature. If you want to hold on to this energy and use it, thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing that. If you want to welcome the energy up, thank you also for doing that. Whatever we do with this energy is a gift. Let's think about the big patch of Dead Sea in the Gulf of Mexico. I don't know how big it is. There's some floating ocean of plastic. I think I've heard the size of Texas. And all those turtles and animals that end up enmeshed in this plastic waste. Check to see how your heart feels about that. Now notice this is all due to pollution. We'll probably do pollution another time, actually. Let's just get back to the climate change. Let's look at those forest fires again that we played with yesterday. Could you go within your heart and ask the element of fire for mercy? Mercy for the planet. Could we look at the hurricanes, the storms, the flooding, the rising sea level? Let's go with the water here. Could we go within our heart and ask the element of water for kindness and love? For all the hurricanes, the winds, the cyclones, the tornadoes, could we go within our hearts And again, ask the air element for mercy, for compassion, and to return to the earth. Could we welcome this earth energy back up? Feel the earth energy again. Could we ask the earth for forgiveness? Feeling our breath. Feeling our heartbeat. Would it be okay as we start this exploration of the five elements if we allow these five elements to be friends, friends of our heart? Would it be okay with us if we begin this process of moving into complete alignment with these elemental beings, these vast elemental beings? And more alignment. And back to our heartbeat. And just allow what is to be, that wonderful earth element of allowing, patience. Just take one more check of your experience. Where are you right now? Could we allow ourselves to be grateful to have a body composed of these five elements, to have a life here on this earth right now? And could we just live in gratitude for the day as we walk in harmony through our morning, our lunch, our meals, our work, and bring this harmony as a gift to everyone we meet? And with that, let's end this meditation. Feel your feet on the floor, fully grounded. And just take a minute or so to open your eyes. And I thought I'd take this coming out time to tell everyone, or maybe perhaps remind people if they already know it, But I was when I was first on this morning, I setting up that sort of thing. A beautiful heart from India was on Zoom, and we spoke briefly. It reminded me, and she had told me this earlier by email, that we're in the middle of the 9 days of Mother Divine, a very beautiful holiday season, holy day season in India, where each of the 9 days, a different aspect of Mother Divine is honored and celebrated. You know, Durga, Lakshmi, Devi, Saraswati. I don't know all 9. Maybe there's Kali in there. I hope so. Usually, I think she's included with Durga. But what happens is it ends on, I think it's Thursday, the 26th. And then the 27th will be what's called a Victory Day in the great epic, the Ramayana, where Ram returns after defeating the Demon King. And this is a Demon King, Ravana, that has 10 heads. Now, I've always taken those 10 heads to mean, is in the Vedic tradition, there are 5 organs of action and 5 senses. And I've taken them to that 10-headed demon king to be the Lord of the senses and the Lord of materiality, material desires, achievements. And the metaphor is Ram has been victorious over sensory, the culture of sensory enjoyment and material achievement. Nothing wrong with either of those, but in their place, subordinate to the culture of the heart. So Tuesday will be a Victory Day. And I think I'll probably bring that into the meditation, that we will just claim victory over anything that separates us from being fully the loving beings that we are. At any rate, this ends our formal program. I understand people have to leave, so feel free to leave if you need, whenever you need to. But if anyone else is stirred up still, or worried about the climate, or has some issue going on in their life, can you think about the people who have spoken up in the past, and how they've all brought us to such a deep place? Would you be willing to do that for us? Whether you think you can or not, you can. Let me change the view here so I can see more people. And by the way, it's totally okay to be here without your video on. I do love seeing you, but I totally understand in the mornings it might be nice to be private. So, should we just hang out in this peaceful atmosphere a little bit longer? Or would someone like to speak up? I'm easy either way. Yes, good morning, Linda.
Yeah, I just wanted to share an experience I had back in March and April when our country was really closed down. We were pretty much in a lockdown. The airplanes weren't flying, the cars weren't traveling, and in the Austin area, you know, I had to travel over to an acupuncture appointment. There was hardly any cars on the road. And one morning I was sitting out in my backyard at the table and I looked up in the sky. And for the first time, it had been going on about 2 weeks. For the first time, the sky was a robin egg blue. And it had been, even on days when it was supposed to be blue sky, you would see a haze. And yet within 2 weeks, our atmosphere had cleared up that much. And on Facebook, people all over the world were noticing the same thing, how quickly, how quickly our air was cleared up. That's all I wanted to share.
Thank you. That's a glorious gain and a gift to bring up. You know, when I was in that meditation thinking it can change so quickly, I was almost had disbelief, but I remember that now. We all, the dolphins in Venice and, the Venice canals cleaning up and seeing the Himalayas from New Delhi or something like that. It was amazing how quickly it changed. That's a space for great hope. Thank you very much. That was a great gain. Anyone else with gains? We don't need to have problems. Hey, Bobby, how you doing?
Um, uh, Good morning from Philadelphia, One Heart. So glad to be on day 5, going deeper. One gain I want to acknowledge was when Ellie Rose so courageously took us into our hearts yesterday. What a deeply transformative process that was for me. So I really want to acknowledge you, Ellie Rose. And it's really still with me, really powerful. And what came up for me in the meditation topic today of climate change when you were inquiring or doing questions was the feeling of I can adapt. Like your experience was how things can change so quickly, but myself was like, no worries. I went to small I can adapt. I can adapt to anything. And then that brought me into a place of feeling more separate from the elements and climate change and feeling like this human being of adapting. And it's a theme in my life. I pride myself on that it's a place of pride that I can adapt, you know? So it was like I stepped into pride with the topic of climate change.
Nice.
So I'll work if you want.
So yeah, let's go to that. So everyone,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So she's finding pride and check to see where you're proud of something in your life. And it's not that not pride is necessarily a bad thing, but it is an energy that separates us. It says, I'm better at this than you. Or I've really done this and you haven't. So Bobby, can you welcome up this pride? And as I'm hearing it, the pride is that you're a very adaptive human being, yes?
Right.
Yeah, so...
It comes with survival program in there.
Yes. So welcome up that feeling of pride, of being better than other people, being more adaptive than other people. Can you get in touch with that?
Yeah, a little resistance, but I'll go there.
Okay, I know we don't like to go there. And everyone else, whatever it is you think you're really good at and better than other people, maybe your kids are better than anybody, or your kids can do this, or whatever it is, your career, it doesn't matter. Bobby, is it okay with you if you feel that pride? And can you notice that there's a certain amount of stuckness with the pride?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And do you notice a sense of fear that I've done this so well so far, but I don't know if I can keep doing it and get better at it?
Yes.
Yes. That's what pride does for us. We go to pride because we have this unconscious fear that I may not be so successful next time. And just check. Maybe you find it, maybe you don't. It's okay. Or just what do you find with your pride? And pride is distinct from appreciation. If you find yourself just appreciating, no problem there. But what we're looking for is the energy of, I've done it better than others. I'm in a good place. You might not be yet, but I'm here. But there's a hidden quality of not wanting to go forward because I'm in a good place.
Yes.
Yes. You know, when I used to teach these emotional intelligence workshops called the release technique, when I talk about this, I'd say, who do you know among celebrities who has a lot of pride? And you know who invariably everyone said? Donald Trump. Okay. So that's sort of like the extreme of it. And that's what we want to let go of within us. So, Bobby, could you welcome up this stuckness, this fear of moving forward? And could you just be with that?
Yes.
Yes. Could you just love it?
Yes.
Yes. It's a voice within you that wants to be heard, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So just be with it. Boy, I feel you being with it, Bobby. I can just feel it here. Could you just be with it some more?
Yes.
Yes. And is it okay with you if you love every part of yourself?
Yes.
Yes. And can you love it some more?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And you feel that relief, don't you?
Yes.
Would it be okay with you if you shifted into being a heart that loves?
Yes.
Yes. And is a heart that loves flexible and adaptive?
Yes.
Yes. And would you rather be a mind and an ego that's adaptive, or would you rather be a heart that
Heart,
is
heart,
adaptive?
heart.
Heart, right, right. So could you thank your mind and your ego for being so adaptive all these years?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they've done a great job for you, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah, could you thank them again?
Yes.
And are they feeling okay? Are they feeling loved?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. And are you feeling loving?
Yes.
And would it be okay with you if from now on you adapt from your heart?
Oh, yes.
Would it be okay with you if you just start referring to your heart whenever a challenge comes up?
Yes.
Yes. And then live from the wisdom of your heart. That would be okay, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Now, when you refer to your mind and your ego, you're really just referring to your conditioning,
Yeah.
all your storehouse of experiences, which are very valuable. They're good for about 90% of what we do, 95%. But would it be okay with you if it just became an easy habit to refer to the vastness and depth of your heart instead of your conditioning?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody get that? You notice it's just a choice. If we've been living in a habit of using our mind to respond and react, and now the invitation is to start a new habit of referring to our heart to respond. And Bobby, is it okay with you, because you've had this habit for a lifetime of using your mind and your ego, Is it okay with you if that sometimes still shows up?
Yes.
Yeah, that's okay, isn't it?
Yes.
Honestly, most of the time, I mean, look, you're driving to work, you're thinking about this and that, and you suddenly discover you're there. That's your mind and your ego doing the work for you. That's okay, isn't it?
Yes.
We want that. We want to honor and love our egos, but would it be okay with you, even if that starts, that continues to happen like that whenever a challenge comes up, we just go to our hearts. That's okay, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. And would you do this, Bobby, not just for yourself, but step into this new energetic pattern for everyone in the country and the world?
Gladly.
Gladly. And that's what we're all doing, folks. We do it for ourselves, but when we do it in a group like this, we're doing it for the world. And how separate do you feel right now, Bobby? Or how much in oneness do you feel?
100%.
Yeah. Wow. And is there fear in this oneness or is there safety?
Safety.
Safety. Is it okay with all of us if we move into the safety of our heart? Yeah. We just set the intention and then we let it go. Would it be okay with you, Bobby, if you don't know how to do this and it just happens anyway?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Could we let go of trying to make this happen with our minds and just in our hearts trust in the wisdom of our hearts? Yeah, that's okay, isn't it?
Yes.
I think that's a pretty good place to stop there, Bobby. So love to you and all your friends from Philadelphia. Yeah,
Thank you, Stephen.
thank you. Anyone else? The game stirred up some issue, some nice experience.
Stephen?
Yeah, that's you, Tara?
Hello, Steve. Can I? Yes. I wanted to say a big, big thank you to you for making the 9 Day festival so very special.
Uh, Tara's
Were you
from
able to hear me?
Yes, Tara's from India. This is the woman I was speaking of. She is a huge heart filled with love. So thank you so much for. Well, you're the one that reminded me, Tara. You're the start of this, so thank you.
Every year, even last year, you had it on the same festival time,
Yes, yes.
and it's going to be Diwali. It's going to be Diwali also very soon. Actually, Diwali is the day that Ram came back from the forest after a 14-year exile, and
Oh,
Diwali is to greet him. Yes.
I didn't know that. They're one and the same then. Oh,
No, Diwali is different. The 9 Day festival is a victory of good over evil for our own minds, for our own selves.
okay. And the other is for the world.
Well, everything is for the world. Even our minds are for the world. You were just talking of it.
Yes, yes. Perfect. Thank you
So
so much,
thank you
Tara.
very, very much. Thank you.
Always such an honor to have you join us. And you know,
Well, yes.
this path of the heart, we call it I Am Heart. Susanna is such a strong proponent of women's rights that she's done all this research on all the matriarchal traditions of the world. And of course, Mother Divine is the mother of all of those.
Yes.
And so there's a great honoring in this particular organization of the feminine aspects of the divine. So thank you so much for speaking up, Tara.
Thank you, Stephen, for letting me
Yes. Any other gains? Yes, Susie. Hello.
Yes, Stephen. Um, I was just following along with the previous person, and it felt like, you know, what I was trying to formulate in my own mind to ask you was just kind of almost answered through the whole thing. But I'm still going to just kind of try to, you know, express it in a succinct way. It seems like over the last few years, I'm saying maybe 5 or 6, the issues or the challenges for me have just been adding up. And it almost felt I had an insight that maybe, you know, I have this pattern of trying to figure things out. So they've added up to the place where it's just obvious to me there's no figuring this out. Just let go, or, you know. So I'm so grateful to be here with you. I've taken a number of courses during the pandemic, and I've learned from all of them. But what you're giving us in this is just such a wholeness of everything good I've learned out of the courses I've taken: release technique and wholeness method and core transformation, you know, all of these, and divine mother healing. And it's just a wholeness. And I appreciate so much the acceptance that I feel like I'm absorbing through the airwaves of Zoom from you, as to, you know, how long a certain issue takes to heal or for me to let go of. It's just all okay.
Yes. Yes.
And that is like 99% of the healing, is feeling that.
Now, do you notice that feeling that is the state of acceptance?
Yes.
Yeah, very powerful state, isn't it?
Yes.
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 Now, would you mind, and thank you so much for that expression, would you mind if we went back to one thing that you said about everything piling up and piling up and piling up?
No, I would be fine with that.
Okay, so it felt like, and everyone else, can you check in your own lives if it feels like things are building up and building up, one after the other? And Susie, can you get in touch with that feeling? It's sort of an out of control feeling. Like all these
Yes,
things.
and just a heaviness of being weighted down.
Can you get in touch with that? And everyone else, see if you might find that within yourselves. This heaviness of weighting down, this sense of being in a tizzy. Things are just going way too fast and too much is changing in my life and the world. So Susie, can you feel that feeling?
Yes, it's more for me though that there isn't enough energy or hours in the day to try to figure out how to fix each one of these challenges, and even if I knew what to do to even do it.
Good. So that's perfect. So this out of control, don't know what to do, can't solve it, all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
So can you see that's just a feeling coming up?
Yes.
Okay. Can everyone get in touch with that feeling? Now, do you like that feeling?
No.
No. And does not liking the feeling make it go away?
No.
No, it's not a good strategy, is it?
No.
So what we resist persists. So would it be okay with you if you just allowed that feeling to be there?
Yes.
And could you allow it to be there some more? And everyone else go to the same place. Could you allow that feeling to be there some more?
Yeah, I don't know what to do about other people getting this. When I do go to someone to get advice, professional advice about a medical thing or a
Susie,
financial thing,
Susie,
and
you,
how do I
Susie,
explain it to them that
Susie,
I'm going to just allow it?
Susie,
Yes,
can I use you as an example here for a second?
yes.
So
That's why I'm being honest with
good,
you.
good. So everyone, because it's easier to see it in other people than in yourselves. But do you notice she started feeling that feeling and then kicked back up into her mind? You get that, Susie? You were down there feeling it, and then suddenly, oh, you start thinking, how am I going to express this to other people?
Well,
Okay.
I think it was a feeling of being unsafe, that people would judge me or
Yes, yes. But
something.
what I want you to get, would it be okay with you if you look back, and this is just for your own education, your own sensitivity,
Uh-huh.
look back, and maybe you can notice it, maybe not, where you were feeling the feeling, and then suddenly that fear or thought came up and popped you into your mind. So the reason I'm
It's
inviting
certainly a lot. Yeah,
the reason
definitely.
I'm inviting you to go there is once you can start to see how it happens, you can catch it very easily. Okay.
Yes.
So what I want you to do is go
Out of
back.
acceptance.
Yes. Could you go back, welcome up this feeling again? We're going to go there. This feeling of can't solve it so much, whatever that is, unsafe feeling perhaps, whatever's there. Can you just be with that feeling and allow that feeling to be there?
Yes. Right now, it's very painful about one particular issue, fear, a lot of fear and sadness.
Perfect. Is it okay with you if you're very gentle about feeling that? Would that be okay with you?
Yes. Yes.
And is it okay always if you're gentle with yourself?
That would be wonderful.
Yes. So could you make that choice again? I prefer to be gentle with myself.
Yes, I definitely prefer to be gentle with myself.
Yes. And could you just give yourself some love and approval for being so courageous about feeling these feelings?
Yes.
Yes. And I don't know if you can feel it, but the whole call is going to a very deep level right here.
Yes.
Yes. And could you give yourself some love and approval for having done that for us?
Yes.
And is it okay with you if you go back and just gently feel this fear and out of control feeling? Just gently, just come up close to it.
Yeah, I'm feeling it's fear and sadness together right now.
Good. See, the sadness is deeper inside the fear, right? You've gone a little bit deeper and now another flavor comes up.
Yes.
Is it okay with you if you see that this is an energy that's been within you for a good while?
Yes.
Yes. And is it okay if it just takes some time for it to come out and be restored? Is that okay with you if it comes out in its own pace and time?
Yes.
Yeah. You could allow that, couldn't you? So
Yeah.
could you recognize that this energy has its own character, has its own intelligence, has its own quality?
Yes.
Yeah. And that it wants to be heard and express itself just like you do. Can you sense?
Yes.
Yes. Would it be okay with you if you gave it permission to be heard?
I can do that for a little while,
Yes.
but then I feel like I have to distract myself.
Yes. So would it be okay with you if you're perfectly okay with that process? You feel it, gets too intense, and then you just pull away. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So whatever it is, who knows? And we don't even have to know. Could you pull up a picture of yourself having approached it, allowed it to be there, pulled away, go back, just gently chipping away at it, gently allowing it to be heard? Could you allow yourself to be safe in that whole process? That be okay with you?
It's a novel thing to consider, but it would definitely be okay.
Good. All we're doing is we're setting an intention that
Yes.
the way you're going to do that is you're going to approach this and always be safe. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how you're going to handle this one. And it's going to take as long as it takes, right?
Yes.
And could you imagine for a moment who you will be when this energy is finally transformed? Who will you be?
Ooh. Um, it's hard to imagine. I see this space of light, but I can't see into it to see who's there.
That's okay. Would it be okay with you if you just hold this vision that as you heal this, you are moving more and more into a field of light?
Yes.
Yes, that's what we're doing here, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Amazing.
And by holding on to this energy, what we do is we block the light from coming through it. Okay, and we hold on to it as a survival mechanism. So it's not a bad thing. For whatever reason, when you put it in there, you needed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so can you give yourself some love and approval for having the wisdom to handle that in this way at the time?
Yes.
Yeah, it was the best way for you to handle it at the time. And now you're capable of gently letting it transform and moving more into the light. That's a picture you can live with, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's a nice picture. Okay. That's what all of us are doing, by the way, and you were just showing us that very graphically. All right? So everyone else, could you make the same choice? It's okay to heal the wounds, these pools of energy within us, and in the process become beings of love and light. Some people will focus more on light, some more on love. It doesn't matter. Well, thank you, Susie. Thank you very, very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. And I have one just personal question, if I can ask you.
Sure.
The Divine Mother healing,
Uh-huh.
who was that through, if I can ask?
Through Connie at
Connie?
Divine Mother Church. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, perfect. That's what I thought. And I just wanted to. For the rest of you, I have a church building because I had a church for 18 years. And Connie and I sort of broke off from the same Unity Church, and she's in my building, my church building. Oh, happy to hear that. Happy to hear it all. So you guys, we're not going to meet on Saturday, or Sunday. You know that. Every weekend morning, a bunch of people show up in my YouTube account, at least in courses past. So I just wanted to announce that. And God bless you all. Thank you all so much. I am finding this to be so enriching. And I'm just grateful for every one of you.
Thank you so much, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you all, guys. Thank you all.
See you Monday.
All right. We'll see each other all on Monday and have a wonderful weekend filled with love and light.